In most states, a possession of heroin charge carries a sentence of up to 7 years in prison. But I don't do drugs, so why does this even matter? Have you ever seen the show Cops? Every criminal on the show always tries to convince the cops that they didn't do the crime, which never works. But what if they were actually telling the truth? And that's where I come in. On a day when I was sparring at my boxing gym, my buddies were out at a beach party. And when I returned, they brought the party back to my place. And that's where the story begins. I get back from boxing to my apartment and I get there first, so I'm the only one there. Shortly after, my buddy and his group of friends roll in. At this point, they're really drunk. Then they hit me up and say, hey, we met these girls at the beach. We invited them back to your apartment. First of all, I'm sober. I got all these drunk people here. I don't want these random ass girls coming into my apartment. Then one of the kids pulls out this like bag, this like little baggie, like not a Ziploc bag, but like this big. And it has like a brownish powder in it. Let's just say it wasn't sand. The bag had little like skull and crossbones on it. He's like, oh, some dude dropped it on the beach. I grabbed it. I brought it back. Like I want to try to figure out what it is. So as this is going on, the girls walk in, and then a kid walks in behind them, a guy, and he's got these like white trash tattoos. He's wearing a wife beater. It's hard to miss. He's wearing an ankle bracelet too, like house arrest bracelet on his ankle. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where do they meet these guys? Turns out like they didn't invite this guy over. The girls invited this guy. So like we didn't know the ankle bracelet guy was coming at all. Like they didn't. I didn't know anyone was coming over. I'm trying to evaluate that situation. Meanwhile, the girls, they see the plastic baggie, they go over to it, and they're going back and forth, and they're deciding whether it's cocaine or heroin. Oh boy, what's going on? And one of the guys who's drunk is talking to the guy with the ankle bracelet. He's like, "Well, man, I can be a mentor for you. What did you catch your case for?" Guy's like, "Yeah, I got a gun charge. I was trying to rob somebody or something. He was gonna rob somebody, and then they pulled up and they got him with the gun. Anyway, so he was on house arrest. I turned back around. The girls have decided the way they're going to determine what this substance is by like rubbing it up against their gums, that type of deal. And it turns out it was heroin. So I was like, okay, this is honestly like worst case scenario. I'm surrounded by drunk people with a guy on house arrest, and now a bag of heroin, which we've now confirmed inside my apartment. I was doing my best to like de-escalate things and kind of just get people out of the house. And it seemed like that was going well until the guy on house arrest started chopping up and snorting some of the heroin. And at that point, I kind of just had enough. I was like, you know what, guys, enough here. We're going to go to the bar. And they were down for it. Mind you, they were very drunk at the time. So we start walking to the subway station. And this is a ragtag group. So you got me, who just got back from boxing. So my face is like a little bit of a black eye and some cuts on my face. You got a group of my friends who are all like drunk and like they're just kind of reckless. And then you have two girls, a guy on house arrest, and you can't see it, but he's also now got the bag of heroin on him that he just snorted. So we get to the subway station. By the grace of God, the guy goes, "Oh, well, shit, it's 8 o'clock. My curfew's at 9. I don't think I'm gonna have time to go out to the bar." We get on the subway and we take it one way and they take it the other because they just decided to like peace out. So I'm like very thankful that we kind of split off. So we go to leave the first stop and the door is open and there's like 3 cops waiting there. And they're like, "Hey, we got called by basically the lady who sits at the turnstile called in." So luckily the guy with the heroin had left, but the cops basically just like talked to us. They gave one guy a ticket because he had an open container on him, which you're not allowed to have. But all things considered, we got off pretty scotch-free given that Mr. House Arrest wasn't there anymore. We get back, we transfer trains, we go to the bar. It's just a weird vibe that night. We took the subway back and we all just like sat there like, what is going on in our lives? Like it's just a very, very weird situation.